Hello everyone, this is Cesar from CesarUSA.com. This is one of the channels that I have, CUSAINT, that's an I. I have multiple videos regarding English, like English courses for Spanish speakers. I'm going to make some for English speakers about IT, the information technology, such as full storage when you are having a lot of issues with space in your email or Gmail or any other email accounts or in your hard drive, things like that. Multiple educational videos. Some are about scammers, things like that, and how they manage to take money from people. I invite you to subscribe. And the video today is about scams. I invite you to visit my website, CesarUSA.com. It has multiple links. It has useful links. It's a Spanish side, English side, where you can click on useful links, and it will take you to the page where you will be able to look at different useful websites. Anyway, in regards to scams, most people know what a scam is. It's basically dishonest schemes that try to trick you into giving away your personal or financial information or paying for something you don't want to or need. So scammers may use phone calls, emails, text messages, websites, social media, or other methods to contact you and deceive you. Here are some tips on how to prevent scams. So block unwanted calls and text messages. So you can use your phone settings or third-party app to block calls and texts from unknown or unwanted numbers. This can help you avoid robot calls, spam messages, and phishing attempts. I normally do not block unwanted calls, but but when I see an unknown number, I'm wary when they start telling me things that are such as that, like they may want to scam you or something, or get information from me. So don't give your personal or financial information in response to a request that you didn't expect. I remember the time when I was told that I won a prize. That was for this magazine subscription that if I registered, you could get millions of dollars or something like that. And they said that I won a prize when I actually, in fact, I didn't subscribe. And they were asking me to send money to receive the prize. So they said, send me $150, $200, whatever for taxes, so you could get the prize. But send it by a card and give us the code. Who could do that? I mean, it's unbelievable. So scammers may pretend to be someone you trust, like a government agency or a bank or utility company or charity, and they may ask you to verify your account details, and that's when they get you information. They may ask you to confirm your identity, pay a fee, or donate money. So don't click on any links or open any attachments in these messages. Instead, contact the organization directly using a website or phone number you know is trustworthy. Resist the pressure to act immediately. They rush you. That you're in the rush, and then you send money or do whatever they ask you when they're actually trying to trick you. So scammers may want you to make a quick decision without you thinking or checking the facts. They may threaten you with legal action, arrest, deportation, account suspension, virus infection, or other consequences if you don't comply. So don't let them scare you into doing something that you might regret later. For example, they may say they are from whatever, the IRS, and that you're behind your whatever, your taxes, or behind whatever, that you have to send money to whatever, or they're from the immigration, and if you don't send this money, they're going to deport you, that kind of thing. They scare you, or they scare people trying to get money from them. So know how scammers tell you to pay. Sometimes scammers often insist that you pay them using a specific method that is hard to trace or reverse, such as a cryptocurrency, wire transfer, gift card, or prepaid debit card. They may also send you a fake check and ask you to deposit it and send some money back to them. Never pay someone who asks you to use those methods. for example, are receiving in several locations job offers, and they send money, say for example they check for whatever $5,000, so you know, and then they said keep whatever 2,500 and send us cash, deposit the check and send us like a certain amount, for example 2,500. And say, well, I'm getting 5,000 and sending back 2,500, but in fact the check bounces. You know, it's a fake check. So don't believe those things. You know, sending money, you know, thinking that you're gonna get money. You know, be careful. So stop and talk to someone you trust. You know, before you do anything else, tell someone, a friend, a family member, a neighbor. Tell them what happened. You know, thinking about it could help you realize it's a scam. I remember a relative who was called and was told that the relative was in an accident, that he needed her to send money because he had to pay whatever, doctor or whatever, and she was all scared because she was afraid that the son, was in a big issue, and she was crying and telling the son to send money. You know, he got all scared, and I told him, no, that's a scam. You know, the thing is that the guy sounded like her son, so she believed because he was. But he said that he was in an auto accident, but in fact he didn't drive a car. He didn't have a car. So how could be driving and hitting someone? He didn't have a car. You know what I'm saying? So they trick the person and tell him to send money right away, that they're in an accident or whatever, or they're stranded somewhere, and then when you call the person, you say, no, I'm fine. You know, instead of just sending the money, just call the person you're concerned about. Tell them, are you okay? Because I'm getting a call from someone telling me that you are in an accident or whatever. He said, no, I'm fine. You know, so verify with the person that you are concerned about. And let me give you another example. There was this lady who was tricked with Facebook and Zelle. What happened is that she received a message from a trusted name, a relative, telling her that the person needed money to finish paying a car or something like that. And then what happened is that she sent the money through Zelle, because in the social media, I think it was Facebook, the profile matched the name, you know what I'm saying? But actually that was a fake page, Facebook page, fake profile. So when she recognized the fake name, the name of that relative, she believed, and she sent the money to somebody who she didn't know, you know? So they asked you to send money to somebody else, and so they give my account number and somebody else's name, not your relative's name, and then you send the money, and then you realize that it was a scam. So be very careful with that. So you think you encounter a scam or fell victim of one, report it to the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, at the reportfraud.ftc.gov. You know, here are some links for scam information, like consumer.ftc.gov, or there is also wikihow.com or consumer.ftc.gov and things like that. So be very careful. So this is the Federal Trade Commission consumer advice. We'll give you some tips, you know, for signs that it's a scam. Scammers pretend to be from an organization you know. Could be your bank, it could be, you know, they trick you. Sometimes they contact you from different banks. You don't even have an account there, but eventually they match your account. For example, they may trick you as a bank in, for example, Brazil, but you have never been in Brazil, you have never opened an account in Brazil, and you still get messages that you are your money at the bank, that you open an account and you have a late fee or whatever, or even your own bank. Eventually they get your bank, so they send you multiple banks, and eventually it's your bank. So you're getting information from fake information from a bank that is the same that you have, and they pretend they are from the bank, and they ask you things, for example, to log in and verify transactions, things like that. So be very careful. You know, scammers say that there is a problem, or that you want a price, and they may say that you're in trouble with the government, or that you owe money, or that someone in your family had an emergency, or that there's a virus in your computer. There's so many situations with scammers that they find multiple ways to take money from people. They may say that you won a lottery or sweepstakes. That's what I was told once, that I won some sweepstakes from magazine subscription, that I didn't actually have such a subscription, but that I had to pay a fee to get the prize, like a tax fee, and then somebody was going to come and get the money, or that you can send the money instead. So you go buy this prepaid card, give them the code, and then they take the money away, and then you never get the prize. They promise you want a car, you want a bunch of stuff. So you say, well, what is $50 or $100 or $250 when I want a car or $10 million? But you're not thinking that they will never show up with the car, they will never show up with the price. So you're actually sending them, for example, $250, and then you never get the car, never get your price, because it's actually a scam. They may send me some cryptocurrency, or wire me some money through whatever, Western Union, whatever, or tell them to put money on a gift card and give them the number that is in the back of the prepaid card or the gift card. So avoid being scammed. Be very careful, especially when they ask you to send money, things like that, or to give out your personal information. What I'm saying? Very, very careful with unknown callers, people like that. And make sure that you take down the phone number that they're calling from, or the email address that they send you the message, and report it as phishing scam. We need between all of us to report it and make sure that they don't do it to other people that are naive and they could fall for those scams. So be very careful. So you can read in different websites such as WikiHow how to avoid scams. Examine common practices. How they do it. Identify popular scams involving money. Be suspicious of offers for easy money or urgent content. They rush you, so you don't think twice about what's happening. Recognize possible phishing scams. You could get emails saying, if this is your bank, there is a suspicious activity, log in into your website, and then they give you a link to log in, and actually it's a fake website. You're logging into that fake website, and that's the way they get your banking login information, and then all of a sudden your money disappears from your bank. And it's because they got your login information from a fake website. What I'm saying? So be careful where you put your login information. Make sure it's the actual bank, not some other website that is a fake one. What I'm saying? Conduct online searches is here that when you get mailings that ask for money or information, follow up and do some research about the company or person that is asking information. Never assume a solicitation is legitimate. Try doing the following, which will help you avoid scams. Try the company or product's name into the online search. Use words like complaint, review, or scam. Sometimes they offer you a job. They say they pay a bunch of money, but they have to pay a fee because they are actually an agency, an employment agency, but you have to pay a fee. You save the money, never get the job. There are so many things that they do nowadays to get your money. Instead of working, they try to get it from people who are honest and work. So avoid paying money any money up front. Think about the payment method be requested. Scammers will request money from specific sources in order to avoid detection. Most scammers will request cash, money wires like Western Union or prepaid credit cards, e.g. vanilla. These payment methods are difficult to track and nearly impossible to reverse. Let me tell you, this lady who was scammed, she sent the money through Zelle thinking that it was a relative, and then when she called the bank and told them, you know what, I think I was scammed. This person I don't recognize, I thought it was my relative. Say, okay, yes, we were researchers. They took the scammer's information, like a phone number or email address or Facebook account, the name of the person. So they tried to recover it, but they said it's nearly impossible to do. But they will try. They try to, once, for example, a transaction goes through, it's very difficult to do anything about it. Yeah, and it's a pretty fast, more immediate transaction. So it's very difficult to track who actually got the money. So, and it will take a while. It may take 45 days or more to actually get the money back, if at all. Sometimes you don't get the money back. So you send 400 or 500 whatever money, you never get it back. So you could lose money if you believe these people. So let's say, for example, it's your relative, call your relative. Read the cancellation policies. A lot of free trials are automatically turning into large monthly charges. For example, you may register for whatever, say for example for a subscription. They give you, for example, 7-day trial, and then you forget about it, and then they charge you whatever dollar amount after the 7 days, and then you try to cancel afterwards. It's not too late. You already passed the cancellation period. You have to pay whatever, for example, $30, $40, $50, $60, whatever. It's too late, so they don't give you money back, and then you call the next month. You forget to call the next month, then you get charged again. Sometimes they could be valid, but they trick into, because they offering you a free trial, say a month trial, then you forget about the cancellation, and then the next month you get charged a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? So try to avoid this, unless you actually want to keep the subscription. For example, you may register for, say, Amazon, so you could get Amazon Prime, because you may want to watch Amazon Prime and send things, send things to yourself or somebody else using Amazon, So you may want the service, or you may have to pay $12 or whatever per month to get the TV, the movies, subscription, plus being able to send money for free. Items for free instead of paying a shipping fee. So if you find it convenient, you may do that. But if it is just for whatever, that is not really worth it, but you want the free trial, then just be aware that you need to put somewhere a note that you need to cancel before the offer expires. So avoid depositing checks from people you don't know. A lot of scammers will offer you a large amount of money by check if you send them a smaller amount of money in cash or through a wire. That's what I was telling you. They send you this huge bunch of money and say, okay, I give you $5,000 if you send me 4,000 back, for example. And then you deposit the check. You have, say, for example, 20,000 in the account, so the bank may place a hold or may not. But anyway, you send the $4,000 or 3,000 or whatever, and then a few days later or a number of days later, then the check bounces. So then you lost the whatever money you sent. For example, you sent $3,000 for the check that was 5,000. You thought you could make 2,000 very quickly, but actually you lost 3,000. You know what I'm saying? So be very careful with those fake checks. They look pretty good. They look official, but actually it costs them whatever, $5, whatever it costs. But they're making a lot of money from that. They may get 3,000 or whatever, 1,000, whatever. But just printing something, they may cost them $5, $10 to print. You know what I'm saying? They look official, but actually they're fake. So before that, you need to actually check with the bank if it cleared. You may not. What you could do is ever when you deposit on a non-check, wait until it clears. You say, did the check clear? And because sometimes the problem is that the bank sometimes they give you the credit, and then when they found out that the check is bad, then they debit your account. That's the problem. That they may debit your account later on. So they may give you the credit for the deposit, so you think that's good, and then days later they debit your account the 5,000 or whatever money the check was for. You know what I'm saying? And then you're out of that money because you send some of the money back. You will be out of some money. Anyway, so be careful with that. Phishing, trying to get your information. That's from the consumer FTC.gov. So they want you to confirm your personal financial information. Anyway, there's so many things. Ruse is in Spanish will be treta, is a trick that they run on people, so you can learn some Spanish using Langui or Google Translate, learn some other languages. This is some information about the money transfer. This is Zelle. It's a news in Los Angeles Times about how to spot increasingly common scams, credit card scams, digital payment apps such as PayPal offer some discount advantages over cash, including the ability to record money paid to scammers. Anyway, but Zelle, a digital payment network owned by several major banks, isn't so protective to its users. So if you use Zelle to pay someone that then he proves to be a con artist, you may only have a slim chance to recover the money from your bank. The same is true if you send money to the wrong person. If you hit send, the money is probably gone. And if you lost it's like you lost $20 if you lost the money in the street, So on the page it says, while we are unable to assist with getting your money back, it's important to us that users have the ability to report this experience. We will report information you provide to the recipient's bank or credit union to help prevent anyone else from having the same experience. So you may lose the money and then they notify, or they may try to other people to avoid it. But why lose the money? You know what I'm saying? Says some critics argue that Zelle and its banking partners are misinterpreting the Federal Electronic Fund Transfer Act of 1978 and the regulation implementing it, which shield customers from such of the liability of unauthorized transfer. Under the law, an unauthorized transfer is when someone else initiates a transfer from your account without your approval. Anyway, you can read that on the internet. So I want to thank you for watching this video. I invite you to visit my website. You can contact me if you have any questions or you want some help with issues such as problems with Social Security. Maybe you want to get some benefits, for example, retirement, or assistance with disability benefits. Will be just general opinion information or relocation information. We have real estate services in South America, particularly in Colombia. Real estate services in Oahu, Hawaii, and in Southern California. This is Medellin Real. You can send us a message through this box. We have other websites such as Alpes10, Alpes with 2 S's. We have emails such as CUSAINT@gmail.com. It's kind of getting full, so you can maybe use CUSAINT. That would be CUSAInteresting@gmail.com. That's a new one that I just made. And you can send us comments or whatever that you may need to tell us. Anyway, so thank you for watching this video. Hope you like it and hopefully it's helpful. Take care, everybody.